We already heard the title, and what we're going to do again is a little background, the methodology that we used, some of the results. We can't present all, a bit of a discussion, and a look at what future work might entail. So, as we've heard several times, in 2013, CLME, the countries in the CLME Plus region adopted a 10-year strategic action program. And the next project then was aimed at catalyzing implementation of that SAP. And one of the things that the SAP said had to be done was to develop a monitoring plan to track progress towards achieving the SAP objectives. And this project then adopted what is known as the Governance Effectiveness Assessment Framework for monitoring and evaluation under of the work relating to this strategic action program. Again, don't have time to go into this framework in detail. Suffice it to say that it comprises 7 categories of indicators, some of which are about whether good governance is in place, some are about whether the governance interventions have been effective. And so we move forward with gathering information in all on questions in all 7 of these indicator categories. And we have 30 indicators altogether, a balance between what would have been really wonderful to have and what we thought that the people that we would be trying to get information from could sustain. Between 2018 and 2020, we sent these questionnaires to fisheries representatives in all countries. And I should mention that there was fisheries, environment, and pollution components to this assessment. I'm speaking of the fisheries one alone. And we spent a lot of time with follow-up emails, telephone calls, and so forth, and at sub-regional meetings, trying to gather this information. Note that the baseline period that we're working with here is 2011 to 2015, and there was supposed to be a follow-up then in the next 5 years after that, according to the Strategic Action Program. We can't share all the results of all 30 indicators, so I'll just look quickly at the 3 indicators under the heading of ecosystem stressors, whether fishing effort is at the agreed upon level for the region or sub-region, use of destructive gear, and whether, I hesitate to use the term now after the last speaker, IUU fishing has been minimized. So looking first here at shared stocks, whether fishing effort or catch is at an agreed level. And across the board, we see a lot of yellow, which indicates there is no catch levels that have been agreed, or in that time period anyway, for the particular stocks that we're looking at there. The overall average speaks volumes, where we have like 75% of no agreed level, a smaller number of stocks at which are at a higher level of catch or effort than agreed, and then a very few at which it is at the agreed level. So that's the kind of picture across the region that we wanted to generate as an input to very high level decision making, understanding where the strengths and weaknesses are. Shared stocks, destructive gear minimized. Here you can see many places it was not considered to be an issue. There were a few places, there was one for sea turtles where it was considered to have been minimized, and then groundfish and spiny lobster was a bit of not minimized. Again, a broad picture, and another one here for IUU fishing minimized. The big story here is that it's either unknown, and a lot of countries responding, well, we don't know what's going on out there, so we can't say whether it's been minimized or what. And then there are a lot of situations in which it's not, or stated or reported to have been not minimized. Just very quickly too, on an area which we do not usually see monitoring, the social justice indicators, there was a range of topics such as participation of women, cultural traditions, equitable access, fisher folk labor rights, that countries reported whether they had policies on these issues or not. And you can see there a fairly even spread between the percent yes and the percent no policies, with the no perhaps dominating. So that's the kind of information that is in this assessment for all 30 variables or indicators. One of the big problems was that there was a low response rate. And therefore, what we have as a baseline, unfortunately, is only a partial picture. And this has a lot of implications for monitoring the SAP and for looking at the next period, the next 5-year period, or the third one, which we are actually in right now. And it's really critical that we be able to track progress on the achievement of SAP objectives if we want to make a case for continuing to receive funding, but also just because we need to know how we're doing and what are the areas we're doing well in or not so well in, so that policy at the high level can be informed. So in regard to future work, there's a lot which remains to be done. The next evaluation period was supposed to be 2016-2020, and to date, no work on that has been initiated. If you are interested and you want to see a fuller story of this assessment, you can see it in the Fisheries technical report there on the right of the screen and the link at the bottom. And I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for your attention.